All right, guys, let's get it popping. Let's get it going. My name's Alberto, aka Destroyer 48, aka Subscribe for Food, ha ha ha, aka I'm the ghost of the most, aka I have a trillion channels. Hey guys, what is up? Let's have a lot of fun, man. Let's get it. Let's get it popping. Let's get it going. Let's get fired up. All right, today I'm gonna do the movie review of Gremlins. And yes, Gizmo will be joining us this evening. I'm gonna keep him in the box because I don't want to ruin him. And he's my niece actually bought this Gizmo in Chinatown, and I don't want him getting in trouble. Which you're gonna find out that he does not like. You have to keep him away from sunlight, water. Don't feed him after midnight. Am I missing one? I did that on purpose. I forgot what the other one was. Come on, what is it? Sunlight. Keep him away from water and don't feed him after midnight. He really hates regular light and sunlight. Again, it's very important because it will kill him. Yeah, so we'll be doing the review over Gremlins today, and I have Gizmo that's gonna accompany me. So let's get started on the my review of Gremlins. Um, it starts off in Chinatown where this man Ronald Peltzer he goes to this he's greeted he's with a little Chinese little boy. Little Chinese boy takes him into a little shop that's underground in Chinatown, and he runs into an old man there that's running the store. There's a lot of Chinese artifacts and stuff, whatever, and he's and Ronald Peltzer's hoping he can run into something. He can run into something cool to buy his son at you know, for Christmas. So he goes in and he's talking to the old man there that runs the shop, and he's trying to sell him some smoke thingy, something for smoking. It's like some kind of circle contraction machine. And every time he tries to sell it to the Chinaman, he hears something on the side. He hears like a little woo every now and then. And the kid takes him to the box, and it's this guy. It's a Mogwai. He goes, "What is it?" It's a Mogwai. It's one of these. It's in a box, and it's always really cute. And he's like, "Well, I gotta have him. I'll pay you $100." The little kid is like, he's offered $100 to the Chinaman, the old Chinaman, to sell him the Mogwai. And the old man says, "Mogwai not for sale." Okay. And then Mogwai says, "I can't sell him. It's too much responsibility." The old man takes off, and then the little kid goes, "Wait here." So, uh, well, actually, the little kid goes, "No, go up, leave the shop, and meet me out there." The little boy comes out with this Mogwai and ends up giving him in a box to Mr. Peltzer, Ronald Peltzer. And Peltzer's like, "Yo, here's the money. Have a Merry Christmas, kid." Oh yeah, and the kid tells him, "Well, he needs to follow the rules. Keep him out of sunlight. It will kill him. Uh, Never feed him after midnight, and he hates bright light. Oh, and don't get him wet." Wow, I'm so happy I remembered all three of them. Before I couldn't remember them. Gizmo, why don't you remember them? Anyways, Ronald Peltzer goes to his house. He's greeted with his family. He walks in like that. There's like swords in the wall. This sword is gonna be known for falling. There's like two cross swords on the wall at his house in the living room. One keeps falling every time people come in. Usually, again he's greeted by his wife, Mrs. Peltzer, and he's greeted by Billy, his son. Billy's about he looks like 18 or early 20ish. You find out he's not going to school so he has to be at least 18 and over, maybe in 17 in some states. Anyway, so Ronald Pilzer's like, "Hey, I got you a gift. We have to open it. Can't open it now." And Billy's like, "Okay," and he shakes the box. Not the box like this. You get it. This one's closed box. He shakes it, and then Mr. Pilzer's like, "No, no, don't shake it, don't shake it." And then Billy was like, "It's a dog," and he opens the box the first time, and this little guy pops out real quick. It scares Billy. And the second time, "Oh, I'm sorry." And then Ronald Pilzer said, "You have to dim the light first." So he did the light first. Then this little guy pops up. Bing! It scares Billy. And then the second time, remember he doesn't like light. Little Gizmo here crawls out of the box really, and he's really cute. Billy's like, "Oh, cute. Can I hold him?" They hold him and stuff like this. And then Peltzer tells him the rules about don't get him wet. He hates light. Keep him away sunlight. Will kill him. And don't feed him after midnight. Did I get them all wet? Don't feed him after midnight. Oh my gosh, I keep forgetting them. There's only three of them. Don't get him wet. He hates bright light, sunlight. Now I'm probably missing one, right? But the light go together. Anyways, never feed him after midnight. So Billy has his new pet. Oh yeah, and I didn't even think about it because Peltzer, I forgot to mention. I'm sorry. He's an inventor, and like he was trying to smell that ashless ashtray chicken material to a Chinaman. And I didn't even connect the two together. He goes, I call him Gizmo. He seems to like it, and he's always moving his eyes. Um, Gizmo, because Gizmo's a word for invention, right? Excuse me. So Billy will take Gizmo upstairs and hang out in his room and such. Um, it's really cool because um, he has like Billy has his comic book with little glasses. He even watches it. There's even a scene where he's watching a race car, but I think that's later on. But he's like he's like this. He's seen a movie with a race car driving from the 40s or 50s. He's like, he's really cute. At one point, Billy puts those Santa caps on. He puts it on. Looks really adorable. There's a part where he falls off or something, and then Billy takes him to the restroom, and he's like, bright light, bright light. And then Billy has to dim the lights. Good thing they have dimming lights in the house. A lot of houses don't have dimming lights. Puts a band-aid on them and stuff. Um, there's a part where Billy's playing a keyboard thingy and like a little piano thingy. I don't know. I forgot what you call those little pianos. And Billy's like, beep, and then he sings like, and then beep, boop, beep, boop. Yeah, that's another thing. Gizmo here likes to sing, and you're gonna find out throughout the movie that they like to sing. Um, and then he'll even press it himself. Really cute. Billy has a little friend called Pete. Pete looks like he's maybe 12 to 13 or something. Played by Corey Feldman. So Pete comes over one day and Billy shows him Gizmo here. He's like, "Oh, cute," and then Corey Feldman is a little, or Pete, played by Corey Feldman. Yeah, he's a little. That guy's a cute kid too, so it makes a really cute scene. And he's like, "Blink your eyes," and Gizmo blinks his eyes and stuff like that. Um, then Pete, they go over to the table to do something, and then Pete spills water on Mister Gizmo here, and you know he spills water on him. Oh man, I almost spilled water on him. It's a big no-no. But here, Pete does spill water on on Mr. Gizmo here. Mr. Gizmo is cute. Uh, and then Gizmo goes on the floor. These little balls pop out, and they make other Gizmos or other Mogwais or Gremlins, aka Gremlins. They pop out, and then they turn into like these little balls, and then they open up. The ears come out, and you got like I don't know, it's like 6 or 7 Gremlins come out. Yeah, looking like Mr. Gizmo here. They look a little bit meaner. He looks cuter than them. And then there's one with a spike hair, and then Pete goes, "Wow, how about the one with a?" Oh yeah, he goes, "You know what? Now can I have one?" and then Billy's like, I don't like, I don't. He's like he wants to say, I don't know about that. And then Pete goes, "Look at the one. There's one that has like that Gizmo that has white spike hair." So that happens. Um, there's also a scene uh, where Billy was working and he took his dog with him, and then there's this lady, this older lady, Mrs. Dingleberry or something like that. I don't know. And she walks to the bank with a where Billy works at the bank. She has a big snow like a snowman head. She's like, "Hey, look what your dog did to my snowman. Broke it." Like I want to hurt it. I want to do all these bad things to it. But he's like, I'll be more pay for it. Like no, I want your dog. You can put it. No, his Billy has a dog named Barney. And Billy's like, I'll be happy to pay for the damage. And she's like, no, I want your dog. I want to put him on the dryer, put him in the spin cycle. I'm like, wow. So Billy at the same time he's hanging out with Gizmo. He has to worry about his Barney's dog, and his dad is gonna agree to take Barney to Billy's grandma's house. So there's no fear that Mrs. Pellegrini or whatever her name is gonna come harm to Barney's dog. So um, now we have all these gremlins, and back to Billy's room. Billy has these gremlins like this. They have like 6. There's one part that's really cute because they're all out and they're playing. I think Spike's playing that little Donkey Kong game. And back in the 80s, like this is around the 80s time, they would give you like a you could buy a Donkey Kong, like an actually arcade. It was like a big thing like this and had little sticks. It's like the arcade was just a miniature one. And Spike, just that looks like this, is playing, and the other gremlins are around, and they're watching them play. And then Mr. Gizmo here is not so far. They're near the Christmas tree, and he's playing his little horn. And then Spike spits at him, and being really rude at Gizmo. Gizmo's minding his own business. He likes to keep to himself and play a trumpet. It's like Gizmo knows these other gremlins are trouble. You also have inventions. Billy's dad makes inventions. It's really cool part of the movie. They have a invention where they have like a chicken head on this box thingy. It's like a toaster, but the chicken head's supposed to crack eggs. But Billy's mom says your dad's inventions, man, they only like last like 2 weeks and they start breaking down. There's one with an orange juice. There's this big orange juice contraption supposed to make oranges. You put an orange on top, it's supposed to orange juice come out. It doesn't work for somebody, and then Billy tries it, and he puts an orange. I was like, here we go. He's kind of like iffy, skeptical if it's gonna work. And then he puts that orange glass. He's like, yeah, it's gonna work. A little noise comes out, and poof, it splatters all on his face. I like that part. It's really cool. Billy works with this girl named Kate, and he's having a room. Oh my gosh, she's really hot. She's really hot. The girl that plays Kate, she's really hot. She's very. My wife asks me sometimes, who do you think is pretty? And I forget for some reason, but then when I see her, I'm like, yeah, she's one of them. She's real pretty. And Billy's kind of a catch himself, man. He ain't a bad looking guy. Um, and they work together. Wow, I didn't even think about this. Kate works at the bank with Billy, and she also works at a bar, so she's working two jobs. I didn't even think about that. There's a lot. There's a lot to this movie. So we're gonna go back to Billy's house, and he has all the little gremlins like this in a shoebox, and really cute, man. It's there, and he sees the clock. He has one of those old 80 clocks. It's like an alarm clock, and the little furry guy is like Gizmo here. Gizmo's on the bed by himself. The little other furry gremlins like him are in a shoebox, and they're begging for food, and then Billy sees the clock and is like, "Well, it's not midnight yet," and he feeds them a lot of chicken. They're like going eating the chicken real quick, and actually, there's parts where when they're in the shoebox, and I think this is one of the parts where Spike. Remember, they're all like this. They look really cute, and Spike is talking to all of them. And they're like whispering. It looks super cute, man. I'm sorry, all these gremlins like this, they're super cute, but he's the cutest one. But it looks really cute. They're whispering. um, I forgot a part. Let me mention this. Barney the dog, because I remember they still look like this, and one night they're Spike and the other ones are causing mischief, and Billy goes. He hears a Barney barking or something. The dog. He goes outside, and it looks like he's tied up in Christmas lights, and we all know who did it. But Billy's in the table with his mom and dad, and his dad says, "I'm sure I locked the door because this was happening real late at night. I'm sure I locked the door." And Billy's like, "You sure?" And then his mom's like, "No, we shouldn't make accusations, whatever." We know that Spike and the other gremlins are very mischievous because for one they're we'll find out more, but they're mean to Gizmo, and Gizmo looks like the nicer one, and you can tell Billy likes Gizmo more because Gizmo's not causing any other trouble. But we're gonna find out these little gremlins they are not they don't play nuns or monks or priests. They have bad attitude, and they're always getting into mischief and trouble. Let's go back to the shoebox. They're whispering on shh. No, first they're begging the food for Billy. Shh. Or like no, they're like "Wee, wee," they want food. Billy's like, "It's not after 12, so I guess I can feed you." And they start whispering. Spike's whispering to him like he's the leader. And then Billy gives them chicken, and they start eating the chicken in the shoebox really quick. Like the gremlins are all eating them just like Gizmo. They're eating, you see in their mouths eating. And then Billy offers Gizmo, "You want some chicken?" And then Gizmo says, no. Um, the next morning they wake up and there's green, ugly little pods everywhere. There's like six of them. And then it starts off, Billy's like, "Mom, uh, can you come up here?" His mom goes up. He's like, "What happened?" She sees the green, ugly pods. They're bigger than Gizmo, a little bit bigger. She's like, "Did you feed him after midnight? Did you wet him? Did you feed him after midnight?" He's like, "No." Um, and then Billy goes to he checks the alarm clock, and she's like, "Yeah, did you feed him after midnight?" And he goes to his alarm clock, and he goes, "Wait a minute, I made sure I fed him before midnight." And then he sees that the cord has been cut from the alarm clock, and he's like, "Mom, what's going on here?" This part I get confused with a lot because Billy, I even watched it. And I hope I'm not ignorant or something like this, but because Billy, it seems like he takes Gizmo to some Hanson guy. It's a Hanson. He's a science teacher at Pete's school, and it looks like they have taken Gizmo over there. And this doctor takes Gizmo, and he's like, "Well, it's kind of cool, whatever." And and he takes like some green pods. That's what it looks like. So that's happening over there. And I just remember a part I forgot. But so that's going on there. Billy and his mom and are there at the house, and his dad is out. He I guess he's working or something like that. Now what's gonna end up happening is I guess they have him in a cage first, but because it shows a doctor calls Billy, and I'm sorry, the doctor, the teacher at Pete's school calls Billy, and they have like this green pot in there in a cage, and you see the teacher cutting the cage because the egg is too big. It's like growing out of the cage. He starts cutting it out, and they say it's a pupil stage. Even Pete's there with Billy, and the doctors cutting the cages, and they're asking questions and stuff like that. And then the teacher goes, "It's going through changes." And then Pete's like my mother. That's probably like talking like menopause or something, like Pete's mom's menopause or something like that. And so he's gonna cut the cage and take the pot out. Later on, he's gonna put it in a box. At the same time, or not the same time, but around there somewhere, they show that Billy's walking Kate home. And all I can tell you about that, to make a long story short, Kate is saying that she does not like Christmas at this point, and Billy's like, "Why don't you like Christmas?" And then it's nighttime, and Billy walks Kate to her door, and they say bye to each other, and it's obvious they like each other the way they look at each other. But keeping in mind, Kate does not like Christmas. She always makes excuses. Oh, Christmas is like, it's when people can kill themselves, and that's when most of the suicides happen, and she kind of gets mad with Billy bringing it up and stuff like that. But she's cool. She still likes him. And then when Billy walks her to the door, she's um she still says goodnight and everything. Oh yeah, this is the part I forgot. Billy asks her out. He's like, "Do you go out on what day do you have off? Do you have a day off?" He's like, "Thursday." So like, "Okay, let's go out." And he's like, "Yeah." So now we're gonna get to the teacher. Now he's in class. All the students are there. Pete's part of his class. And before that, there's a part that I get confused with. They have like a little gremlin gizmo there. I don't know if it's Gizmo or not, but he's there. And then there's a box, and then the pods are opening, right? Then it shows like there's six pods in there. Like I just thought I saw one in the cage. I don't know if the movie's being inconsistent or I'm missing something. And I've been stumped with this for a while now, so I'm looking. I'll probably look at it again tomorrow for fun. But now we're gonna get to Hanson, the teacher. He's teaching his class, a science class. He has a projector running, right? Something about the heart, but that's irrelevant. But I'm just saying, it's just some science film, and the projector he's showing to the class. All the students that are watching, and he noticed something falls, that something's around, and he's like, "Oh, I bet she's thinking maybe that escaped." He's like, "What do I do? The students are here." The bell rings, and all students take off, and then he's like trying to push them to make sure they go. He's just saying, "Okay, don't forget to do this, that, have a good holidays, whatever." I think that it may be the last day till Christmas or for the vacation. And Pete is there, and he's like, "Mr. Hanson, can I talk to you? Can I talk to you?" He's like, "No, I gotta go." Okay, bye, Mr. Hanson. So Pete leaves. Uh, so he's so Hanson is there, and he's seeing all this, something's moving on the ground, something like that. Something's missing around with a projector. Cuts it off or something. And then Mr. Hanson sees that there is something under the desk. He gets a candy bar, and he's waving under the desk. He's like, "Oh, you like that, whatever." And then it starts biting him, whatever. He's like, "Ah!" So Um, Billy is on the way to the school because Mr. Hatsat called him, and Billy finally gets there and he gets into Mr. Hanson's schoolroom, and he finds there's a part that's funny. He finds there's a shot on Mr. Hanson's butt, and then Mr. Hanson's dead under the desk. I'm like, okay, wow. Billy ends up he ends up trying to battle the green gremlin. By the way, when they come out of the pods, they look all green and stuff. The gremlins, they don't no longer look like this. They look all green. Billy is trying to look for this gremlin. The gremlin has gone to a little air vent in the bottom, ends up in the nurses' room in the school, and Billy's there. And I think there's a part. I'm not sure about this one. There's a gremlin that pops out of the cover. It's him, and Billy's battling, these gremlins over there at the school. Next, we have Billy's mom is at home. And the first thing I remember, she was making gingerbread cookies. She hears noises and stuff like that. She goes to the kitchen and she sees like a green gremlin biting on the head of the cookie. Like, okay. There is a gremlin that goes into, I think it is an orange machine. I told you about it split out. He's in there maybe trying to lick the residue of the orange thing. I think it's the orange machine. His feet are sticking out. He's inside. She puts the on button, and that machine actually works to her advantage. And it slices up the gremlin and kills that one. There's another gremlin that she gets a knife and she stabs a green gremlin to death. That's two. Remember, there's still pods at the house. I suppose you could have said the teacher took all of them because there was several pods in a box with a little gizmo, which I don't understand. I will get to that later. But there's obviously pods there because the gremlins are too. There is another gremlin that she tricks, or she gets him in the microwave and she burns him up. He's like he's in the microwave like melting. She turns it on the microwave when she got him in there. She kills that one. I think she calls Billy, and then Billy's on the way to the house. It's like something's going on, and I don't remember, or either Billy shows up. But I will. What I can tell you is I know she hears another gremlin, a green gremlin, a bad one, and he's in the Christmas tree. She goes to the Christmas tree, and he jumps at her with the Christmas tree on. Like she's on the floor, and the gremlin does damage to her. I think it scratches her, but later on she ends up with a band-aid. But anyway, she's fighting the gremlin. I think she still has a knife, and he's still in the Christmas tree. Christmas tree's on top of her with a gremlin, and then Billy walks in. He's able to get a sword from the wall that we always see, and then Billy gets the sword, cuts off, thrusts the sword at the green gremlin, and his head gets chopped off, and it goes into a fireplace, and his head is like in the fireplace with the fireplace on, and burning the gremlin's head. So they've already killed a lot of gremlins at the at Billy's house. Although Spike escapes at Billy's house, he jumps through the window. Billy mom's damaged from battling the gremlins, and he's gonna take her to the neighbor's house, or like a doctor's house, and they take Billy's mom in. She's like, "Be careful, Billy." Billy's gonna go after Spike. It is getting dark, and it's dark nighttime now, and Billy has followed Spike to the YMCA, and it shows that Spike has found a pool in the YMCA. I don't understand the YMCA. It's a small town. Do you really need a YMCA? Excuse me. Billy tries to stop Spike in the YMCA, but Spike escapes and jumps into a pool in the YMCA. And he's in there, the water turns crazy. There's smoke coming out. It looks like hell on earth and water. and Billy knows there's gonna be trouble because he knows they're gonna multiply with water, just like when they turn into these things. But Spike is a full blown now green evil gremlin, so because remember 8 after midnight, he jumps in the water, water goes crazy, Billy runs out, and then it turns out later on you're gonna see like all the gremlins are coming out. Spike is multiplied several times with all the water in the pool, and you're gonna see all the gremlins coming out of YMCA. There was like hundreds and hundreds. I would say hundreds. I wouldn't say thousands. I'd say hundreds maybe. The gremlins get out and they start reaching a lot of havoc all over town. And there's a lot of stuff going on. They start taking over the town. There's one gremlin that's he's messing around with traffic lights at an intersection. Cars hit each other. You're gonna see Pete. He's gonna be outside his. It looks like his room is upstairs. He's in his window and he's shooting. He's shooting with his. He's in his slingshot, shooting. I guess snowballs at the gremlins or shooting something, and he's hitting it. He's like this, like with a slingshot, and you see the gremlins getting hit on top of his house because his room's upstairs. There's one climbing on a Christmas light and or a line or a telephone line. Something he cuts it. The gremlin goes flying down. Um, there's a lot of stuff going on. Billy has gone to the sheriff's and he shows them Gizmo. Hey, a lot of gremlins going on in the news. They start off like this, but now there's gremlins going on. He's like, sheriff's like, really, gremlins are out, and then the sheriff goes, does your dad usually buy you little monsters for Christmas? Like, no, they start off like this. The ones out there are green, and they get Oh, I gotta mention there's a man, Futterman. He's an older man. He was when everything was okay. He was at Kate's bar. He was drunk. He was going to tractor, and Mr. Futterman. He was on his sofa recliner. What do you want to call it? And the Gremlins were, he couldn't watch the TV. He was watching some Santa Claus on TV or something fall on the roof. And then, sorry, my neck kind of hurts. Um, you see the Gremlins at his house on the antenna. He goes out there, and then he drives a tractor, or a big bulldozer tractor or whatever. Right, that's his vehicle. He goes out there. The Gremlins are no longer there. But when he's outside, it turns out the Gremlins have overtaken his bulldozer tractor and almost run over him and his wife. It's funny because when his wife, she was in the house first, she hears the tractor. She does a really funny face. She's eating cookies and she's like, she's like. So it turns out she goes over there. It looks like they have a barn around the one in the back, and it's Mr. and Mr. Futterman in the barn in the corner. That's what it looks like, a bar. And the Gremlins look like they're gonna run over in a tractor, which I get confused with, which I will hopefully I'll remember to mention it later. Back to the sheriff's office. The sheriff gets a phone call that the Futtermans have been in an accident. It looks like it killed them. It really looks as it's like they're cornered. How are they gonna escape? And I don't know. The question I have is who's calling them? Is it the Futtermans or is it the neighbor saying that they have been hit, injured in an accident? So that part I kind of don't understand. And I'm going to tell you right now, in part two, they come out, so I guess they survived. I need to mention it now because I'll forget. What I can tell you about the sheriff is that Billy's like, he gets hysterical. You got to do something. And then the sheriff's like, go home and, like kind of doesn't believe him. Go home and go spend time with your family and open Christmas presents. And he gets him like he's mad at him. He gets Billy like that, the sheriff does. And there is funny parts before that part. The sheriff, there's the deputy sheriff, or the deputy, not the sheriff. He says funny comments like they're gonna put, should we put, he tells the sheriff, don't get too close to him. This little guy over here will tear your arm off, and should we put the cuffs on? But again, the sheriff gets mad at Billy because Billy's in his face, and he says, "Go and open your present, go home." So the sheriff and the deputy take off. They're gonna investigate. Now I think about it, just remember they're gonna investigate the Futterman's the accident. They don't, they're not gonna think about the Gremlins. Billy takes off. They're not gonna help him. He's carrying Gizmo around little backpacks from the sheriff's office. I don't know. Did I mention they were at the sheriff's office? So they were at the sheriff's office. They both leave. The sheriff and the deputy take off in the car to investigate the Futterman accident with a tractor. But they run into Mrs. Deagle. That's her name. Deagle. I was calling her Deagleberry. They go by Mrs. Dingle. I forgot her name. Mrs. Dingle. I think it says Mrs. Dingle with a D. They're driving by her house, and what happened with Mrs. Dingle is that she was hanging out with her cats at her house, and she sees a gremlin. Oh, she sees gremlin carolers. They're singing. Bah, 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 bah. They're at the door. Bah. She's like, I'm gonna get rid of them. I don't know if she was gonna throw cold water on them. I don't know if it was this one. And she sees that she hears carolers outside, and they're all gremlins. Bah, 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 bah. She runs out. They're coming to get me. I'm not ready to go. Like she's not ready to die. And then she has those seats that go. She has stairs, and then those seats that go up like a little elevator, but it's like a chair. She gets on there. It turns out, I think it's Spike. He hot wires that chair. She goes to sit down to escape, and the chair goes, and she goes so fast that she goes flying out the window, and then the sheriff, and she goes flying in the chair, and then she's still sitting in the chair. It looks like she's died because she ain't moving and her legs are up from the chair. And then the sheriffs actually saw that. They're like, that's Mrs. Dingleberry. Around this time, there is another gremlin hot wiring the brakes or disconnected the brakes from under the car or something. So they messed around with the brakes. The sheriffs take off. The deputy's fighting with the sheriff. What's going on here? What's going on here? The sheriff's like, shut up. They're about to hit a truck that's pulling out, and they flip over sideways. And I better mention this right now before I forget. They just show the cars upside down. They do not show if the sheriffs have died or not, or they're injured. It doesn't. It is, as far as I remember, I don't see them anymore. Another questionable part is there's these two men. There's a man with a white beard. He goes to the mailbox. He puts his hand in, and there's something tugging at him. And at the end, they show a gremlin pop down. They don't show what happens to the man, but it's obvious that the gremlin is getting a hold of his hand. So I don't know if he kills him because he could have like, because they have sharp nails. The green gremlins, the bad ones, they could have like, scratched his arm so much he could have bled or bit off his arm or his hand because his hand is stuck in there. So that they don't show that. So I don't know that. I don't know if the save is inconsistent, whatever. But I just don't know. That's another thing. So it's the sheriff and the man, and I questioned the part about. There's like a little gremlin that was in a box at the teacher's school. Remember? Because I don't know what happens to that gremlin. It looks like this, but there's another. But it looks like Gizmo, but I don't know what happens to it because it was in a box with other green pods before they were released in the school. And Billy has Gizmo, so when it don't show Billy picking up Gizmo over there. So to me, there's like two of them. I will talk about it at the end of my movie review. But I went to the man in the mailbox, all that stuff. Billy ends up. Well, I was gonna say he hooks up with Kate, but I'm gonna show you where Kate's at right now. Kate's at the bar. There's a whole bunch of gremlins in there. There's a whole bunch of funny parts, and I don't know if I'm gonna remember all of them. There's so many. Kate's at the bar with all these green bad gremlins around. There's different ones. I'm gonna try to remember as much as I can because there's a lot of them. She's trying to. There's a bad gremlin. They're all bad gremlins, okay, in the bar. So every gremlin I say is a bad. They're not. They don't look like this. There's a gremlin with three smokes in his mouth. There's a stripper gremlin. He has a turncoat. He'll say, psh. there's Spike, and he's hanging out with a gremlin girl, whatever. And I think there's a little bad gremlin with a little puppet going, and it looks like a puppet. It actually looks like this. Ow, hurt my arm. The puppet looks like this, like a little hamster, and he's going like this. There's a puppet hand. And I think that's the one Spike gets a gun and just shoots because he's acting silly. I don't want to forget this part. Hope I don't drop him. The part, yes. I don't even know how to describe this. There's a gremlin that it reminds me of a movie called Flashdance. It's like those girls that wear warmers on their ankles and stuff, big ones. And he's like this, dun dun dun. They just show his leg dancing, dun. And then okay, I remember. I'm so glad I remember this. This is one of the best parts. It starts breakdancing. The bad gremlin starts breakdancing. He goes in one hand, he spins around. That's funny. And I think he even does a backspin. If you have not seen it, you have to see it. It's awesome. We can go back to the gremlin with 3 cigarettes in his mouth. Kate gets she's trying to just have him settle down. So I guess she's afraid they'll kill her. So she's attentive. She's giving him drinks, whatever. She's gonna find out that I'll just mention this before I forget. She gets a lighter and just tries to light the gremlin his cigarettes. The 3 he has in his mouth. And he's afraid of it. But before I get more into that, I remember there's a gremlin that the bar tap or whatever where all the beer that the bartender serves. There's one with the beer's going in his mouth and you just see the belly going up. Really funny stuff. There's all types of gremlins. There's some that have sunglasses. They have weird caps and all that. But back to Kate, she's finding out she tries to light the gremlin cigarettes. I think he was just trying to be cool with 3 cigarettes in his mouth. And he's like, every time she lights the light, she's finding out they don't like light. So that's the main thing Kate's finding out about because I guess, Billy hasn't even spoke to her about the gremlins yet. So Kate knows they don't like light, so she takes out one of those old cameras that shoot light, flashing light 81s. She flashes them at the gremlins, and they're like, remember, the gremlins don't like light, and sunlight will kill them, but they don't like regular light. So they start going back and all that stuff. I know that the flasher gremlin flashes Kate in this one, but I don't know if it's this one or part 2 where she actually kicks it. I think she kicks it in part 2. There is a Gremlins part 2, which I will get to later on. I remember there's a gremlin gangster, he's acting all gangster at a table, just chilling out. And then there's another silly gremlin that comes out going, bah, 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 bah. The gangster gremlin comes and gets a hammer and bonks that one in the head. And there's gonna be more of these scenes at the theater, which you're gonna go to later. Billy goes to get Kate, and they run out of the bar. I believe they have Gizmo with them. Billy introduces Gizmo to Kate. Like, she's like, "What's that?" She sees it in the backpack. Like, no, he's good. Don't worry about it. They go to some building or some place that's indoors. Billy and her start talking. I guess it's like a rest kind of period. And Billy says, "Look, they've also made a lot of damage in here." And then Kate, she's like, "This is why I don't like Christmas," and she gets into why she really doesn't like Christmas, and it's not because of this, which adds more fuel to the fire, but she starts end up saying a story that her dad would dress up like Santa Claus every year, and then one Christmas when she was young, probably a young kid, he went missing, and they went looking, calling everyone's mom was calling her work, calling everywhere looking for her father. And it finds out like one day her dad was still missing. One day they went to go clean their chimney at their house, and they found They thought it was they think they smelled something, a bad smell, and thought it was a cat or something. It turns out it was Kate's dad dressed in Santa Claus trying to surprise him to the chimney. He climbed to a chimney and he accidentally fell or got stuck there and broke his neck. So that is why Kate does not like Christmas. So they get out of that building and they see the town's in ruins, man. The Gremlins have ruined everything. They have caused a lot of havoc. There's a lot of damage to the town with vehicles and all that stuff. They get out and then they find out that they see that all the bad gremlins, green gremlins, including Spike, have gone to the cinema, which is one of the best parts ever. Best scenes. I mean, it's, and I'll explain why. They go into the movie theater and they see all the gremlins are in the movie theater. They're in the seats and they're about to watch the movie. You see a whole bunch of different gremlins as well. One of my favorites. Well, there's gremlins that have because they have big ears. The green ones, especially the green ones. They have one has two popcorn bags on each ear. Looks hilarious. There's like a couple of gremlins that have the bucket of popcorn. They have turned it into a mask. I guess they cut holes in them. They're small enough, and they put there. We have the bucket of popcorn over their head. It looks real cute, and they cut eyes out. I think so they can see. Really cute stuff, man. And they look gross and disgusting, but the way they act, they look cute and funny. You have to admit it. Before I forget, I have to mention this. There's a buccaneer. I guess I didn't know what to call him, but there's like a buccaneer gremlin dressed like, I guess like a buccaneer means pirate look like this, and he comes flying from the top with a rope, and then he falls down. That's really cute, really funny. Uh, Spike's there sitting with another gremlin. He's sitting down. And I'll get to that in a little bit. And I'm trying to remember them because there's like so many of them. I mean, I could freaking even make another movie review on what different gremlins were, and maybe I will do one on that because that's a really cool subject, especially if you like the movie Gremlins. Man, but there's like, I don't know, there has to be at least 200 to 300, 250 of those gremlins in there, packed in there. Every seat is taken. And they're acting silly, they're acting funny. There's gremlins playing around with a projector, and they get it popping, they get it going. They're getting stuck with the movie, but the movie still plays, and it plays Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and it comes out hi ho, hi ho, hi ho. Da-na-na-na-na. All the gremlins are getting excited. They're paying attention. They're jumping up and down. They're like hi ho. They're singing. Little Gizmo here singing it too. Like hi ho, hi ho. Na-na-na-na-na. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Hi ho. It's really cute. I'm sorry if I say cute, man. This movie's so freaking cute and awesome. Billy is gonna try to find a way to destroy the movie theater with all the gremlins in it to destroy them. So they're the bad guys. They don't behave themselves. We can have it kill them. It's not normal. They've destroyed the town. So Billy goes to some gas pipe in the back or whatever, and he turns on the gas, and he's gonna put like some kind of rag that's gonna start the fire. And when it hits the gas, everything's gonna explode. At one point, one of the green gremlins, I guess, they notice Billy, and they're gonna run after Billy, Kate, and Mr. Gizmo here. So like, but even before that, we see that Spike has left the seat in the theater, his seat in the theater, and he's gone. He smells candy or whatever, and he's gonna go to the candy department store. So Spike is no longer there. But let's go back to Kate, Billy, and Gizmo here. They start. One of the bad gremlins, notices them and start chasing them, and then the other gremlins are in pursuit. They take off. They all start going after Kate because that one gremlin saw him. They go after Kate, Billy, and the Gizmo. These guys run out, and the gremlins are after them. They get outside the movie theater out the door, and all the Gremlins are chasing them. And Billy and Kate, they see that they close the door, and the Gremlins' hands are trying to get out. They're trying to get out the door, but Billy and Kate are gonna try to block the door. They do. They block the door, and then there's an explosion in the theater, and then there's fire everywhere. One of the best parts I like is that there's a bad gremlin with two knives and a surgeon's mask going like this, like he's a murderer gremlin. That's really cute. That's really funny. They kind of act like me, man. I can get a little crazy like that, but they're worse than me. Um, so the racket hit the gas and exploded the theater, and that gremlin's there with the knives, and you see all these gremlins dying. So the gremlins are gonna die in the movie theater because of the explosion, the fire, and the gas. But when Billy and Kate and Gizmo have escaped the blown up the movie theater successfully and escaped successfully. But I think Kate's the one that sees. She's like, oh no, she looks at the department store. There's one over there, Billy. Billy says, oh, that's Spike. So they're gonna go after Spike, and Billy's gonna say like, hey, we can't let him get water or go into water. We're gonna have to. He's gonna make more gremlins again. We have to deal with him. So they go after Spike in the store, and you at first you see Spike is eating candy outside the window of the department store, but he flees. Billy tells Kate, "Hey, go try to go turn on the lights or something. And that's gonna annoy him." And Billy, he goes, "Go find the switches, turn on the lights, stuff. Go find the operating room, or whatever." Which Kate does. She goes over there. Oh, and that's their first romantic kiss. Like, be careful. And they kiss each other. I'm telling you, man, Kate's hot, man. She's a brunette. She's hot. uh, I've seen her in bikinis and other movies. She's really hot. One of the first parts you're gonna see is that Billy, I think he's got in a bat or something. I don't know. He's got something to swing, and Spike comes out with a spike, and he comes out of TV, scares Billy because there's a bunch of TVs. Spike comes, his face shows up. He knows how to operate it. That's another question, man. How do you know how to do all these things? They were just created like that day or something. So Spike figured out how to use the camera, come on the TV, like Billy, and he says Billy several times at the end, or a couple of times, and then Billy gets a bat or whatever he has to swing, and he swings it at the TV. He breaks it. Spike's facing it, and I think Spike's face comes on the other TVs and stuff like that. It looks like Billy has worked himself into a corner. Another part is that Spike still has that bat or whatever he has. Spike finds a machine that shoots baseballs or something, some kind of hard balls at Billy. Starts hitting him. Billy's trying to swing the bat or cover himself with something. At one point, then freaking, oh yeah, and then Spike has a crossbow. He shoots the crossbow at Billy, shoots him in the arm. And then next, Spike, man, poor Billy. And then Spike gets his chainsaw and then goes to Billy and tries this chainsaw like this kind of maneuver. And swinging like this at Billy, and Billy gets a bat. And he's protecting himself against a chainsaw, like chainsaws at Billy. Billy's protecting himself with a bat. I think the cord is too long or something. He needs the cord and it comes off or something. So Billy's saved again. I believe at this point Gizmo's not even with Billy anymore. Gizmo shows up in a Barbie car. He's driving a Barbie car around. Barney ends up there too. I don't know how Barney gets there. Barney's dog, remember? Billy's dog. Excuse me. There's a part where Spike's hiding in between stuffed animals, and there's a stuffed animal ET. Looks funny. So Billy's still battling Spike. Then Kate is at the operation room. She's turning on everything, and eventually she gets to turn on the light, but she also turns on the water fountain. which is not good. The water that could be something that could use to Spike's advantage to multiply again and start all this havoc again. Spike is gonna end up going to he's gonna try to reach the water fountain, and he does. He ends up getting over there. Um, there's a funny part with Gizmo. He's still driving the Barbie car, pink Barbie car, and he goes. He almost hits Barney. I don't know how Barney get there. He almost hits him, and Gizmo presses the horn. Dun dun. He stops and scares Barney and continues on. It turns out that Spike has a gun now. He went to probably got it from Sporting Goods, and he's near the water fountain. He starts shooting at Billy. Billy starts dodging, and then Mr. Gizmo here drives the Barbie car, and he hits a ramp or some kind of ramp or board. He goes and he hits the wall, and he's near the shade of light. At the same time, Spike is already putting his hand in the water, and you can see in his back there's more gremlins are gonna pop out. Remember, they multiply with water. And then Gizmo is able to open the shade with the sunlight. He gets on Spike, killing Spike at the water fountain because the shade got the sunlight. And remember, sunlight kills gremlins, and the sunlight is hitting Spike, and Spike is melting away, and Spike dies. Billy's dad gets there at the nick of time. He was driving around and gets there and notices what's going on. And now it seems that Billy has won the battle. Like, he has killed all the bad gremlins along with Gizmo and Kate's help. Okay. And Kate was able to turn on the light, so that annoyed Spike too before they killed him. So now they're going to go back. They're going to recover at the house. You see Billy's mom has a tape on her head from the fighting with the gremlins. Kate is there. Billy's there, and Kate's giving a real cute. He's giving him a thermometer because he thinks Gizmo's sick or something. And she puts a little thermometer in her mouth, and she tells Gizmo. Gizmo's in the mouth saying, she tells him, "Don't chew, don't chew." It's real cute. And then the Chinese man from the store comes up and says, look what's happened. He's like, you let him watch TV, they have a TV on. And the TV shows that saying that there's wild people going on because they can't just, or they did say, the reporter came on TV saying, little green men. Like, he doesn't believe what's going on. Chinese man says, you are not ready. Billy's dad, Ronald Peltzer, gives, I guess in a way saying sorry, gives him, or an act of goodwill, gives him this crappy smoke machine thingy. He gives it to the Chinese man. Chinese man said, you are not ready. Maybe one day you'll be ready. It's a great responsibility. He gets Gizmo, puts him in the box. He goes, he asked, there was a box that came with him. And then Billy said, yeah, I was like, asked his wife, can you get the box? They get the box, they put Gizmo in there. And the old man's going to walk out and say bye. And then he goes into the box and he can understand the Gizmo talking. And Billy's like, you understand what he says? And then the old man's like, yeah, you just have to listen, something like that. And then they open up. He says, he wants to tell you something. My wife wants to tell you something. And then Billy goes to the box, opens it, and then little Gizmo comes out. Oh my gosh, he's going to cry. Bye, Billy. Oh my gosh, so cute. The old man takes Gizmo and walks away. And I forgot with the walking away part. I feel like he's going to walk all the way back to Chinatown. They live in a small town. I'm pretty sure Chinatown is not that close. Hopefully they get him on a bus or something. And that is the end of the movie. And it's taking me close to an hour. Wow. If I would have seen it more and really got into it, I would have been here forever and you guys would want to watch it. I'm surprised if you're watching this all the way to the end. And if you watch it to the end, thank you very much. Let me just say final comments. Let's see what I remember. My favorite Gremlins, the ones I can remember, is the when they're burning the theater, the Gremlin with the two knives. It looks like a murder with a surgeon mask. One of my favorites. The Buccaneer. Oh my gosh. The one that was in the cinema and he was on a rope and he's swinging across on the top and he falls down. Really funny stuff, man. Spike kills the little gremlin that has a puppet that looks like a little hamster. I'm gonna drop the mermaid. Well, it didn't drop it. And he's like, deeba, 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 deeba. I don't know, that's the gangster, but so they have it, I was going to do that. Deeba, deeba, deeba. The thing is, the gangster gets a hammer, hits that gremlin that has a puppet. No, I'm sorry. The one that the gremlin that has the puppet, that's the one with Spike shoots him. He's like, deeba, deeba, shoots him. And then the other one with the gangster is like, there's the gangster with a top hat, and he's like, the gremlin is like, there's a silly gremlin going, yeah, 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 yeah. He hits that one with a hammer. Of course, Spike was better because he had the gun. The breakdancer gremlin, that was funny. He had the pink warm ups like a dancer from Flashdance. If y'all know from my age, you know what I'm talking about. And they show the part where he's they're showing his legs with a dancer's warm ups on the legs, and then he does the hand spin with his body completely going only with his hand touching, and then it does a backspin, I believe. That one was funny. That was one of my favorite Gremlins. But the Buccaneer, I think maybe might be one of the, if not the funniest, the funniest, because he goes in the rope and he falls in the theater from the rope on the top, swinging like Tarzan or whatever, or Buccaneer or like a pirate. I'm gonna spitball here, but the controversial parts that I remember, there's a lot. I don't understand the Gremlins go from point A to point B when they give the Gremlins to the teacher. That did they actually show when they gave it? Not really when they handed it over, because there was one Gremlin that was good and then like in a box, and then there was like they only showed one pod in a cage, but later on they show there's a box with, I don't know if it's Gizmo or is it somebody else or another Mogwai. And I may be wrong here. And so my point is, there's like a Gizmo that looks like this, but it may not be Gizmo. It's in a box and it has 3 pods. I only saw when they took the pod there in a cage. How did that one turn into 3 or 4? Like it looks like there has been more. I don't understand that part. Now, if you could say it's Gizmo in that box, there's only one of them. Billy came and maybe picked up Gizmo. They don't show that part. So I'm thinking it's another one like this, and it's in the box. And if it was another one, when did they kill it? You know? Or maybe it was Gizmo. I don't know. You guys tell me in the comments because I get confused. Maybe that's what happened. Gizmo was there, but they don't show Billy picking up Gizmo. I was thinking it's another one like this that didn't turn that night and they took it over there because Billy's already with Gizmo. I don't know. Maybe they did take Gizmo there. You guys tell me in the comments because I get that part confuses me. Now you could probably tell me I'm wrong about that part. The other part is the old man. The old man that puts his there's 2 old men, but one with a long beard. He puts his hand in the mailbox, and it's obvious that his hand is stuck. It's not stuck there. Like one of the Gremlins have it because they show that Gremlins go in a hole under from under the box. Did they kill the old man? Let me know about that. What do you think about that? They don't show it. They just show the man hand stuck there. Did he get injured? Did they kill him? Did they bite his hand off and him run out of blood? It's possible. And he died from blood drainage. The other one is the cop, the sheriff, and the deputy. The Gremlins hot wired, or no, they cut off the brake line or something. So they're gonna hit a blue truck, and they flipped. They flipped it. They flipped, having an accident, almost hitting that blue truck. They go upside down. Did the sheriff and the deputy, did they survive that? They could have survived it and crawled out. They don't show it. They could have been dead. They don't show it. And I think there's more stuff that I question. But it doesn't matter. I love this movie. But I'm just saying, if you're one of those people that, what happened? What happened there? There's people like that. I think I'm one of them too. And I am because I'm bringing this stuff up. It's like, what happened? But some movies are not gonna. That's just the way movies are. Sometimes they're not gonna explain everything, right? They can only do so much. I'll give them that much. But I've already mentioned all that stuff. Kate is hot, man. I've seen her in other movies where she comes out of bikini. And if I miss something, I'm sorry, but it's just too much. It's a lot. And that's what makes this movie so good. It has so much action in it. And, okay, I'll say this right now. Uh, like my wife, for example, she didn't like them being green and they were disgusting. There's going to be people that don't like this movie because, one, the bad gremlins, the green ones, when they've turned, they look ugly. They look disgusting. Two, there's people that don't like stupid stuff. So if you don't like stupid stuff, don't watch this movie. If you're like me, I like to laugh at stupid things. I'm not stupid. I like to laugh at stupid things. Yet this movie's for you, man. And then if you, oh my gosh, I think I've never heard anybody say this guy's not so cute. He's adorable. Can't you just eat him up? I'm kidding. I would never eat you. You're so cute. He's so cute. I don't take him in the box. I might buy another one and take him out if I find him. My niece bought me this. She was able to extra like. No, she didn't buy it. She caught it. she boxed it up and gave it to me. You guys get one if you can. I don't know. I didn't research it if you could get it at Amazon, eBay. I didn't ask her where she got it. Maybe at FYE, what's it called? FYE, that store. You might, if anywhere, that's where, or any store in your area that sells like novelty stuff. Look for it if you want one. Wow, what about buying a green gremlin? I wouldn't do that. They're too gross. I just keep it. I just watch them and doing all their crazy stuff. So I don't know. There's a lot I could probably say more about this movie, but I already said enough. I already went over an hour. I'm at an hour 6 minutes. Um, I love this movie. I don't know what other. There's probably other covering. Some movies have other covers. This is the one I have. I probably bought it like 15 years ago. Um, if you like stupid, crazy stuff, watch this movie. If you don't like green, ugly monsters and can't put up with it and don't like stupid things, don't watch this movie. That's what I have to say about the review. I hope if you haven't seen this movie, if you like my review, go see it. If you've already seen it, I hope you appreciate my opinion. Sometimes I was like, why would people want other people's opinion? Why have you seen the review? Because that's the way I started. I started seeing this guy. I questioned this movie. I thought it was so stupid. I wanted another opinion, and that's what I went to do. I want to go see the movie review, and it enlightened me. I saw somebody else's opinion. Uh, so he's so cute. I don't want to end this review because it's so cute. Gizmo's so cute. He's awesome. He's the ball, man. May he live forever. All right, I've talked enough. I guess this ends my review. Um, Hope you guys enjoy my review. Hey, before I forget, don't forget to, if you like my material, my videos and stuff like that, don't forget to to subscribe and like, man. I need subscribers and likes help. They help my channel so I can keep doing my reviews. I do this for free. I don't get paid. YouTube said that they're already not gonna pay me because of my location. I do this for free, so I do it for love it, which is not to toot my horn. I think it's very honorable, and I like to do it. I like to do this. So this is ending my review of Gremlins, and I'm gonna leave you with this. The world will never be a perfect place, but we can make it better. Till next time, my name is Alberto, aka Destroyer 48, and I will see you in the next review. Oh, don't forget Gremlins 2. I will do a Gremlins 2 when I get a chance to. I'll do it down the road. So let me end it again. I will see you guys later from Alberto, aka Destroyer 48. Till next time, I'll see you again. Bye.